Hello, everyone. Hi, Amanda. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm just going to shut the door to my room here. Forgot to shut it when I came in. Oh, good evening to you, too. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. We're going to create tonight. I'm going to go ahead and kind of get started, and we'll talk about what's in tonight's bundle and what isn't in tonight's bundle. So tonight's bundle is very small. It is just this Build a Quilt stamp set and the Sew in Love washi tape sheet. Yeah, it's Amanda says it's cold where she is, so it's not too bad here. I mean, it's cold. It's high 30s, low 40s, but if I'm being perfectly honest, considering that it's been like 2 degrees, like it was downright warm today and balmy. I am going to turn on the heater though, so in case you hear like a buzzing sound, I bought a space heater for my scrapbook room, when it was 2, because I was just so cold. Hello, hello. I think that's Karen. How are you tonight, Karen? Okay, so bundle tonight. We just have the Sew in Love washi sheet and the Build a Quilt stamp set. But we're going to use some other products from the store. So we're going to use some Not Your Mama's cardstock. We're going to use a top folding card base, which these just came back in the shop, and I love a top folding card base. We are going to use the Shattered Glass Sparkle Overlay. And we're going to use the stencil of the month. So this stencil is called Rustic Pattern Mixed Media Stencil. It is the stencil of the month, which means that you can sign up for a subscription. It's under subscription products. And then every month you'll get a new stencil that you can play with, which is super fun. Hi, Kate. How are you tonight? So we have, tonight's card is going to be so fun. Like, I love how it turned out. I am loving these products. And at the end of the live tonight, I'm going to show you a scrapbook layout that I made over on my channel, my personal YouTube channel, using all of these beautiful Stitched with Love products. And the sparkle overlay, because these sparkle overlays are quickly becoming like my favorite thing ever. We're also going to use some Stellar ink tonight. The colors are going to be Love Bomb and Stupid Cupid. This Stupid Cupid is probably like one of my favorite colors. I think it is so pretty. We're also going to use some Tiara Chroma Mist, which was the new Chroma Mist that was released last month. So lots of fun products. I'm going to start by cutting the Not Your Mama's cardstock. I'm going to cut one panel to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Oh, Karen's still in her leg brace. I'm so sorry. But that being said, I'm very, very happy that you came and joined us tonight. Okay, so one card panel, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. The next card panel is going to be 1/2 inch smaller. So that will be 3 3/4 by 5. And this bottom piece, you don't need to use Not Your Mama's. You can use really any white cardstock because we're not going to put any kind of medium or anything on that. But this one should be a nice, thick, heavy cardstock. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our stencil. And I'm going to place this cardstock in a corner. So it doesn't matter which corner you pick. You can pick any corner you like. This will work for any of the 4 corners. I'm just going to take one. Oh, yes. I am so glad. I was thinking that too. If you're stuck in the leg brace and you can't get up and all that, then a nice little crafty chat is perfect to brighten your day. Okay. So here is our card base. I've just kind of tucked it into this corner. Doesn't matter which corner you tuck it into. And we are going to cut this part of our stencil on our finished card as well. So I'm going to start with the Stupid Cupid. And I'm going to put some of this just into the middle. So my best advice for any stenciling that you might do, and we'll be doing some more stenciling in the next 2 weeks as well. If you want to add a bit of dimension or a bit of interest to your stencil, some of the things you can do is to use more than one color, a light and a dark shade. You could use a contrasting color if you like the color that those 2 colors, like if you did red and blue and then you had a middle section that was purple, right? But I'm just going to do the middle part of this stencil with the Stupid Cupid, and that's going to give us just a touch of highlight on our finished card. And then the second color is going to be Love Bomb, which is this deep, dark, like really, really dark red. Tamara. Hi, Tamara. She says, I'm enjoying watching stenciling lately. Yes, stenciling is very, very fun. So I want the inside of this. So I want the Love Bomb to be pretty dark. That wasn't dark enough for me. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to pull more of that ink. I want a lot of ink. And I want to get it to be where it's pretty dark on the edges and then kind of fading into that middle section where we put the lighter colored ink. So we want to get dark at the edges and then kind of just come into those center pieces and let the 2 colors kind of blend. If you wanted to maximize your stenciling, like say you wanted to get more than 1 card out of this project, you could do like a whole 6x6. You couldn't make 2 identical cards, but you could do the whole 6x6, and then you would still have like this strip that you could then use on a second card. So that would be a nice option as well with this card. And that would work. That would work for this card design, even if you don't have 2 of the exact same pieces. The idea and the techniques we're going to do for this card would work, whether you start with a full panel or if you started with just this strip. Okay, so we have all of the real dark pieces, and then I'm just going to go over the whole thing, mostly to get the ink off the stencil and onto the paper, because the ink that's on the stencil, that's just going to go right into down the drain, right? And so if we can get some more of that ink off the stencil and onto the paper, then that's a little bit less wasteful. And I'll just pin this up. Just a second, I just have to grab my towel so I can clean off my glass mat. Hi, Jamie. So nice to see you. There's my friend Penny. Hello, my friend Penny. Oop. Okay. We're just gonna get rid of that. Get the ink off my glass mat. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this piece and we're going to grab my guillotine, my little trimmer. Ah, hi, Shelly. So I'm going to trim one side of this, just a wee smidge. I'm going to trim a little bit from the bottom, just a wee smidge. And then I'm going to take I'm going to look at this and I'm going to decide where I think I want to cut it. So I'm going to cut this diagonally, right? In the example card that we showed for tonight's project, I cut it like this way, right? I'm going to cut it differently this time so I can show you a different way of doing this. Okay. So here is the start of our panel. I'm going to take the same brush. This is exact same brush. I'm not going to put any ink on it at all. No ink whatsoever. But I'm going to go over most of the panel. And some pieces are going to be darker and some are going to be lighter, and that is totally okay. And I'm just using that little bit of ink that is on the brush. And then I'm going to clean this up. Next, we're going to need our stamp. And we're going to need my Misty. First, we're going to need another card here. So this is going to be cut at the exact same 3 3/4 by 5. And then you'll kind of get the idea. It's exactly so. That one. And then grab my Misty. So I have my Misty. And I do have a stick and stamp mat in here. I'm going to put this card panel in this corner because this is the corner where we're going to be stamping. So I'm going to take the other half of this. Just put some. Go here. So my idea for this build a stamp set was that I was going to do the corner of the quilt block design, and then I want this to look like these little pieces are like flying, right? They're flying off into the other half-ish of the card. And what's really, really cool is this. So check this out. So this stencil, the different shapes on the stencil line up perfectly with the sections that are right here. Pretty cool. So the only thing that I'm going to watch is I'm going to stamp my sentiment, which I forgot to grab the stamp set that I used to stamp my sentiment. I know that I want to stamp my sentiment somewhere in here. So we need to keep the darker colored shapes to this section and kind of around the edges. And then for this part of our design, we want to use the lighter colored ink. And then when I stamp my sentiment, it won't get lost in the dark colored ink. So we're just gonna come here. Hi, Lou Ann, how are you? Shelly says she's watching and sort of cleaning. Oh, I do that too. When I have to, today I did some things and I was watching and sort of cleaning and sort of folding laundry, right? I understand that sentiment completely. You can watch and sort of clean. I'll yell Shelly when there's something really important I think you should see. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you all. Okay. Don't do this, but I'm about to do. Unless you are really good. So there's this little seam here, and it is a little bit hard to get these stamps to cross from the seam. But if you are a very good stamper, you can line it up and push down. Far be it from me to tell you not to do that. I feel like I should preface that by saying, do not try that at home. Only do that if you are a professional stamper. Otherwise, just use your MISTI and push really hard. So this is basically what we're going to do. We're going to take all these cute little shapes, these quilt shapes, and we're just going to place them here without a firm. We don't want the design, right? We want it to look like we have all of these in a design, and then they're kind of just going to go everywhere. And I just hit my thing. Oh, that's okay, Luann. I will say, because of how far in advance I planned out our lives for this month, next week's live, I will tell you, that card is going to be, it is gorgeous. absolutely, like, I adore next week's card. I adore all the cards, but next week's card is super good. But I will say it is not going to take me a long time to do it. Like, it'll be a pretty quick live next week. So I would definitely recommend coming at 8 if you don't want to miss any of it, because it's a gorgeous card. I love it so much. But it is going to be pretty quick in production or getting it done. It's not a there isn't a lot of steps to it. You guys are my regulars, and I feel like I should tell you that. So FYI, next week's card will be pretty quick. So see, we're kind of doing this the same colorway we did for this bottom piece. So we have the light colored pieces on the inside and then the dark colored pieces on the outside. You could also use these little squares and build a quilt design from scratch, which is something I really, really, really want to try as well. But I thought it might be fun to do something a little more abstract tonight. And if you're ever looking for a quilt design or quilt pattern, I always love to go to Pinterest and type in the search bar quilt block designs. And then when you get one that you like, just recreate it with paper. You can recreate it with this stamp. This stamp set has all of like the really kind of shapes that are in most quilt designs, which is really, really cool. So that's really fun. And I said this at the beginning. I know some came in late. I have a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout to show you at the end of this that uses the same line, not these same products, but the Stitch with Love products. And I think it turned out so nice. I have to show you. I keep pushing my glass mat back tonight. Here is this one. And then we'll fill in down here with the dark color. Then we're going to do some more blending with that same blending brush that I used. We will do this one this way for our last dark one. You can stamp this as many times as you like. I think I'm going to stop there. I'm going to set that aside because I just want everything to soak in. All the different ink. Let everything dry and soak into the paper. I'm And then we'll put our stamps away. I need to put my stamps away right away, or you know what? They end up in places they just shouldn't be, inevitably. And then my scrapbook room eats them. Okay, so we'll get those stamps in. Okay. The boring part of crafting. Clean as you go. We are done with our stamp set now. We are done with our Misty. Those can go away. Actually, we're not done with our Misty because we need to put our sentiment on, which please hold. Talk amongst yourselves for a second, just a second. Okay, there we go. I had to make sure I had the stamp for our sentiment. And see, this is the problem. Lost a whole stamp and left it here. Oh. That's why it's very important to put things away. I know you're all laughing at me. It's okay. I deserve to be laughed at. Definitely, 100%. Okay. Build a quilt stamp. We're done with this one. This can go away. We have our stamp for our sentiment. So there is still ink left on this brush, and I'm going to use it now to make everything look even and the same. Ta-da! Okay. Now we're going to take the Chroma Mist. This is the Tiara Chroma Mist that was released last month. And it's this color, basically. It's like this orangey pink, but it's not in your face pink. It's like orangey pink. And it has gorgeous like makeup powder, and it's so fabulous. Okay. So we're going to give that a good shake. And then we're going to splatter like there's no tomorrow. Yes. I think I splattered first. We're going to splatter first tonight. I can't remember when I did the first stamp set, the first card, when I mocked it up, if I splattered before or after I stamped the sentiment. We're going to do it after this time because I think I did it after. And this is going to be very splattery. There's no such thing as too much splatter. For this card anyway. And yes, because the Simon Harley inks are like dye inks, they're going to kind of play a little bit. Not too much because we did let them dry, but they're going to play a little bit with the ink. And correct, I used my X-Acto knife to splatter and didn't cut myself. So we're going to let that sit. And that's the second time I almost sprayed the Chroma Mist instead of the Squeaky Clean. Not that that's necessarily, not that it would hurt anything, just maybe wasteful. But what kind of Squeaky Clean is everybody using right now? I am using, this is Lemon Pound Cake. So we're going to let this dry. And we're just going to come over here and we're going to grab the first card panel that we cut. So this is the one that is 4¼ by 5½. And along with that, okay, we want to grab our washi sheets. So this is the Sew in Love washi sheets. Really, really cute. Here's what is kind of left after I did my first card. And I want to use those same patterns because those were perfect and matched our color scheme really, really well. So one of them was this plaid one, and I actually cut it in half. So I'm gonna line this right up. Just like this. Oops. And then we're gonna take 1/2 of that washi sheet. And so basically, we're going to make a mat for our card with the washi tape, which I think it's entirely possible. I've done this before for other Make It Mondays. I can't, maybe not, but I'm pretty sure that I've done this before. I am a big fan of cutting apart washi sheets. We rip them and tear them quite often around here. Oop, forgot to cut it in half. Hold on a second. Because we definitely don't need the full 1 inch. So we're only going to use about 2 of the washi sheets from the whole place. And then you'll have loads and loads and loads of other ones that you can play with. Oh, lavender. Amanda has lavender. That's a really, really good one too. That's a really good one for springtime too. I don't know about you guys. I would love. Does anyone have a scent you would love for them to come out with Squeaky Clean? I would really like lilac. Lilac would be fabulous. Lilacs are my favorite flowers, and they smell so good. And someone's going to comment. Someone's going to say they had lilac, years ago. And then I'll be super, super duper sad because I missed it. Okay, so then we just have to grab our scissors and trim off these extra bits here. Yeah, Jamie. Jamie's been around a while, so if they have not ever done a lilac one before, that means they probably, if she never saw it, that must mean that they still haven't done it. So that's my vote. We need lilac. Okay, so then this is going to be and become the background of our card. Isn't that cute? That turned out so cute. And then we still have our overlay. And we're going to do our sentiment. We're going to do this Stitches with Love stamp set, which has tons of sentiments. If you need sentiments for anything in this collection, this stamp set is the one that you want, because you can mix and match all of these sentiments with any other of the products and you'll be good to go. So we're going to use this one that says Love You to Pieces, which I thought would be perfect because, we have the little pieces and they're kind of flying off. That was what my brain said. It seemed like a good, great, fabulous idea. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to put the rest of these into the packaging because I will use them for other projects later on. Pop those over there. Same with the stencil. It will need a clean, and I forgot to get water before I started. So to do that. We're done with these as well. Just need to stamp our title. And then we are going to cover the entire front of this card with the Shattered Sparkle Overlay. And isn't that like perfect? So perfect. So good. For this whole, pieces and everything. Okay. And then I'm going to show you this scrapbook layout that I made. And there is a video for the scrapbook layout, but it's over on my personal channel, Sara Scraps. But it uses this whole, so much of this same line that I thought I would show it to you. So this is dry. You want to make sure that that splatter is dry before you stamp, or you can stamp first and then splatter. I've done both. Both work just fine. Amanda says, lavender is the only floral scent I like, and I'm a flower gardener. I'm not a flower gardener. In fact, I have the blackest of black thumbs. Everything, it just dies. So, like, it's so bad. Things that they tell you at the store, you can't kill this. I can kill it. So, but some flowers, floral scents I like, and some I don't, because some flower scents, especially those little hyacinths. Oh my gosh, I'm so allergic to them. I get around them and I sneeze and sneeze and sneeze. Like, I can't, not only can I not stand how they smell, and I don't even think they smell that pungent or much at all, but man, I get around them and something about them, I just start sneezing. My nose starts to run and my eyes water. It's ridiculous. So I think when I did the other one, I think that I stamped this like 4 times because I wanted it to get really, really good and black, really black, so you could really read it. Oh my goodness. Amanda, I'm sorry. Amanda, you just made me giggle. She said they all smell funeral home to me. Oh. So my question is, did you work at a funeral home or something where the scent of flowers would that's what you would associate with it? Just curious. Just curious. Oh, dogwood trees. I can't even think what dogwood trees smell like. I think they're like the hyacinth. They don't smell terrible, but they must put some kind of pollen or something in the air and just Oh, Penny says that she's been shopping at Brutus Monroe since 2017 and there has been no lilac. Interesting. Okay, so you can see all of that beautiful splatter. Look how cool that looks. And we have our sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and put some tape in the middle of here. And then we'll go ahead and now it's time for the sparkle overlay. Hello, Heather. Oh, Amanda said she had lots of old relatives and so she spent lots of time in funeral homes as a kid. Okay. I knew there had to be something because, I mean, most people that when you think about flowers, the first thing generally speaking, the first thing you think of isn't funeral homes. Okay, so sparkle overlay. There's lots of different styles. There's snowflake. There's like a confetti one. There's this one, which is like it's called shattered. I think there's four or five. They're so amazing. So what they are they're 8.5 or 8.5, sorry, 6.5 by 5.5 clear sticker sheets with this holographic design on them, and they're clear. So anything that you cover them with, you can still see everything that's behind all of that, right? But you also get this awesome, lovely, amazing shimmer and shine. It's so cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my card base with the end of the first sheet of sparkle overlay. Then I'm going to mark my little pen here so I know where to cut. And I'm giving myself a little bit of room. Yes, I am. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Amanda said, very fun card. Yeah. Okay, so then to cover this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the backing paper off, but not all the way. Catch the end of it. And I don't have nails. Okay. So you're going to pull down a little bit and then crease it really, really well. And then take your card, flip it over, and line it up. This is really sticky, so you have to line it up. You can kind of see here, I'm giving it some space. So you're lining it up at one end, and then line it up at the other end. So, yeah. And now you can push down. And then we're going to ever so slowly take that little handle that we created. We're going to pull it out. And then I'm going to take my little brayer that sits on my desk. that I find so many uses for all the time. I'm going to push that so we have no bubbles. No bubbles. And then we're going to trim off the edge. And then look. How cool is that? Like, it's so cool. Love this stuff so much. And if you have any bubbles or anything anywhere, like if you use the brayer and the brayer, in my case, I still had a bubble. And because I am putting this over 2 layers, I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to just push it down into those creased areas. There we go. Look at this. It's so cool. Anyway, these sparkle overlays, I'm sort of obsessed with them. I love them. So then we have our top folding card. And we can put it right onto that top folding card base. And inevitably, I'm going to put it on. Oh, no, it's not crooked. Yes, it is. Because of course it is. If it's not crooked, I didn't make it. I don't know why it's being stupid. There we go. All right. And there's our card. How awesome is that? So much fun. Okay, you want to see this? I'm going to show you the scrapbook layout. So all of the products, dimensions, everything that I use to create this layout is on my channel. But primarily the reason I want to show you this is because look at the quilt blocks. First of all, these are the stencils from the Sewn with Love collection. And then do you see that the sparkle overlay on them with the snowflakes? So I will say that this layout took almost an entire package of the overlays. So if you're going to do larger projects or larger areas, you may want to go ahead and grab like more than just one pack. You might want to grab a couple packs. But there is tonight's card. So fun. And that's it. I hope you guys liked tonight's live. Just quick reminder. Next week, my Monday night live will still be at 8 o'clock, but the project for next week will be, it's stunning and gorgeous. I love it, but it was a pretty quick card to put together. So I probably won't be live for a very, very long time. It'll be pretty quick. I think that's all I have for you. Description box below is the affiliate link to tonight's bundle and to the shop in case you want to grab any of the extras. If you want to get a subscription or get one of the stencil of the month. Yeah, I think that's it. You are so welcome, Luann. Thank you. Amanda said she watched the video. It was very cool. Thank you very much, Amanda. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you, Luann. I will see you all very soon. Oh, yay, tomorrow. I'm so glad you had such a great time, and we'll see you next Monday. Thank you, Karen. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Bye.